You know, I thought I would come back and do a part two on my series dealing with ghetto gaggers and black pastors. And I really do believe that many of my videos, they have a consistent theme. So I'm quite sure that in some other video, I've addressed this subject. But I'm going to restate it here because, again, repetition is the mother of skill. And I really, excuse me, and I really want you people to begin to grasp how the Negro really don't want solutions. And I'm not saying all of them, but there's a large percentage in the Afro-American Negro community who just don't want solutions to these problems. And I'm going to show it to you in this part two of Black Pastors and Ghetto Gaggers. Now, what you will notice from a lot of Negroes on social media, they will spend their time complaining, griping, being butthurt over people who just merely share their opinion and their analysis on a given subject. What these Negroes would do is they will come back and they then will call this person all sorts of names. They will call him a coon, black buffoon, sellout, typical stuff, Uncle Tom. And in the process of them talking about this person, they not one time address the problem. For example, in this video here and in the other video, part one, I was dealing with black pastors who manipulate black women. It's well known, it's well documented. We can't get around this. You'll have some of these savages who will come to me and say, you're Uncle Tom, you're a coon, you're a black buffoon, take your shades off. Why do you rub your hands together? Why do you crack your knuckles? You're ugly. I mean, you will find videos on YouTube and on social media where grown men will spend their time cracking on another grown man that they don't know, never met him, never talked to him in person, don't know him. And when they engage in this type of frivolous activity, they not one time address the crux of the problem. And I want y'all to see this. I want you to see how you must begin yourself to raise the issue of how can you be concerned about black people? How can you be concerned about the betterment of black people? And all you're doing is spending your time cracking on or talking about another black male. But not once do you spend any time addressing the issues that these brothers are talking about. Not one time do you find a video of a critique, an analysis of the black church. Not one time will you find these brothers do a critique, an analysis of all of the money that flows through the black church and what is being spent on and how these pastors are just lining their pockets and they're not giving anything back to these local communities. Not one time will you find a video on that. Not one time will you find a video on the fact that the black church is predominantly black women, but they account for somewhat 3% of the leadership in the church. Not one time will you find a video on this. And the reason why you won't find a video, and it goes back to what I've been telling you, and again, I know y'all not going to like this, but I'm making this plain to you, and I'm doing this for a reason. Because I want you to begin to see for yourself why I say some of the things that I say. And the reason why you won't find these videos that I just mentioned is because black men, for the most part, not all of them, but a very sizable portion of them, have the brain capacity of a dehydrated BB. And as y'all know, they can't connect dots. So they can offer no analysis. They cannot critique anything. This is the reason why they don't do it. And when you find a Negro who spends his time on social media cracking on or talking about another black male or talking about another person who has a different opinion than theirs, and this is all they're doing is cracking on them and they're not addressing the core of the argument, then what you see is a person who has just demonstrated their intellectual level. And because they have not the capabilities of critiquing, analyzing, connecting the dots on the subject that this person is talking about, the only thing that they can do is crack your mama, yuck, yuck, yuck. This is all they can do. It's no different than I said this in many of my videos. If you take 20 black people, you can take 10 women, 10 men, and you put them together and they're talking and they're discussing hot button issues, whatever the issue may be. They're going back and forth. Everybody is sharing their opinion. Everybody is sharing what they think about the subject. Out of that 20 of black men and black women, you're going to have at least one or two who are going to be jokesters. And they can't offer anything concrete to the conversation. The only thing that they're going to do is seek to crack jokes and try to get everybody to laugh or get everybody's attention off on something that really don't matter. Out of that 20, that's what you're going to have. And the reason why out of that 20, you're going to have two Negroes who are going to engage in this type of buffoonery is because they don't have the intellectual capabilities of engaging in that conversation. So therefore, they want to reduce it back to their intellectual level of cracking jokes. Yo, mama's so fat and yuck, 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 yuck. That's what they do. And I understand this. I've been trying to explain to you Negroes that if there was a class on Negroes, I would have gotten an A in that class. I've studied y'all. I know y'all. This is the reason why black men flip-flop the way that they do. They can't remain consistent. There's no consistency in their positions. This is the reason why they're all over the map. Depending on what the weather is, that determines what their take is on a particular subject. And I'm not talking about you just changing your mind on something, yeah, okay, I thought this, but I see it a little different today. No, I'm talking about being on opposite ends of the spectrum. That's problematic. And that demonstrates a mental disorder. As I, again, have told you in many of my videos, that a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. He's mentally confused. This is the reason why these Negroes can offer no critique of the black pastor or the black church. And these Negroes will seek to take a person's opinion and make that be the major problem because they can attack that. They can spend their time going after that. But they can't spend their time critiquing the black church from a historical perspective, analyzing it in terms of its message, its relevance to today. The Negro can't do that. He has no ability to sit down and do this. This is the reason why he will only engage in stupid, cracking jokes, buffoonery, yuck, 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 yuck. This is what he does. Because there's no way that you can sit here and tell me or even begin to convince me, and I know others feel this way as well, that my opinion is the major problem in the black community. When you have these houses of iniquity, when you have these dens of filth, when you have these well-kept monuments of social, political, and spiritual failure, many y'all call houses of worship. When you have these dotting your community and you look at the kind of money that flows through these institutions, the type of money that black women give to these institutions, and they are providing no service back to the local community, and many of you Negroes reside in these communities, and yet and still you won't get me to believe that this person's opinion supersedes this pimping pastor. This person's analysis supersedes this pastor impregnating women in the congregation and then paying for them to have abortions. This person's analysis supersedes this pastor who's pimping these women, forcing them to pay for his home in the suburbs. This supersedes this. This is what you want me to believe. It's completely insane. It makes no sense. And whenever you look at whatever issue, be it black on black crime, you'll find no analysis of it. Black men cannot critique this. They can't talk about it. Oh, they can give some half-hearted, goofy opinion that really doesn't make any sense. But they can't sit down and analyze, critique, connect dots. They just can't do this. This is the reason why they spend their time cracking jokes and buffooning and goning. And this is where they are intellectually. So again, I understand this. You can't confuse me. I understand that many of you brothers just don't get it, and y'all never will. Many of you brothers gonna be left behind because y'all just don't have the intellectual ability to analyze and to problem solve. Y'all just don't have it. It's not there. It's clear that it's not there because you Negroes are spinning y'all's wheels. Your community is in hell. It looks like a war zone. You got Arab and Korean-owned store owners who's fucking your women. You got pastors who's bending your women over. You got both of these individuals who's pimping, just abusing your women. And you black men don't have the nuts to take a stand and do anything about it. All you can do is make a video on social media cracking on another man that you never met. You don't know. You don't know anything about him except for what you see on YouTube. And this is what you spend your time doing. As if that's the major problem in your community. And not the fact that you got black men killing black men for foolishness. You offer no critique on that, no analysis on that. Again, the brother who's been providing the links in my Twitter and in my email has been giving link after link after link of black men killing other black men, and you don't hear one peep from these Negroes who claim they're concerned about the black community. And you'll find some of these Negroes will run around here, and when Jordan Davis was shot by Michael Dunn, all of a sudden it's open season on black men. When George Zimmerman shot Trayvon Martin, all of a sudden these Negroes, it's open season on black men. Right there in New York where the cop chokes this guy to death, open season on black men. But when black men kill other black men, it's not open season on black men. You never hear this. You only hear it again, and y'all know where I'm going with this. You only hear it when the narrative fits that of being a victim, and that the person who done the shooting, white cop, white person. But yet and still, you won't find no analysis from these Negroes on said subject. You won't hear it. You just simply will not hear it. What you will hear is an endless litany of insults, cracks, your mama jokes, you ugly, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But not one time will these shines actually offer a sound critique of the problem. It's not forthcoming. Because at the end of the day, as I've been telling y'all, it is what it is.